a lot of people might consider this modern day depression. I live in an endless loop of just kind of doing the same repetitive things, not even doing the same repetitive things, but being stuck in the same cycle of just going to places that I don't want to be, doing things that I simply just don't want to do. And, I kind of consider that a sense of hell almost, where it's like you're living against your own will, being forced into a system that you simply don't agree with or you simply don't want to, I guess, conform to. And it's quite frustrating because you just want to do anything but that. And especially having goals and ambitions and knowing more than the environment and the situation that you're stuck in, it is very challenging to kind of suppress yourself to that loop. In my situation is just going to school and then working at my part-time job. I feel like I'm always either at either one. And I don't want to complain or sound like I'm just complaining about, going to school and going to work, because I'm not going to lie to you. My school and my job, they're very lenient and it's very, I'm not doing much, but the fact that I am there, I do not like it because it's like I'm being bossed around and being told what to do. And I don't want to sound like spoiled, but I know a lot of you guys could just agree or kind of relate to me that, you want to be your own boss. You want to do something that you have passion for. You want to do something that makes you feel fulfilled. Like I feel almost as if I'm a 25-year-old stuck in the body of an 18-year-old, and it's so hard at times to accept that and to be able to move and walk in that, because things come at a certain time, and you can only rush the time as much as you can, as God willing the situation to change. And another thing that you might consider, I guess, depressive, or is the fact that I have no friends. I don't really talk to nobody. Yeah, I have acquaintances, talk to them in school, time to time I talk to my coworkers, but it's nothing more than the relationship right there in that environment. We speak on things that very are unrelated to the type of person that I am. Like, I have very, very niche taste, interest, and goals, and like every single time I found myself talking to them about these type of things, it's like almost speaking to a brick wall or a 5-year-old child. They simply do not grasp the world that I live in my mind. And it's not even that it's a thing in my own mind, but just the reality I'm trying to create around me. They don't grasp it because they have been so systemized to, school, work, and careers and doing what it is. They can't even fathom a venture or a journey without stability and, this level of sacrifice. And further going into work, I feel as if, man, all I do is just work. All I do is just either working at my part-time job, thinking of ideas of how can I make it out. I'm constantly plagued. I'm constantly haunted by this idea of, man, I just want to break out the rat race. I want to break free from it. I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to follow the system. I don't want to be just another person that just goes to work, you live 60 years, and then you retire and then die in 5 years after that. I don't want to do that. I want to leave a sense of legacy. So I'm constantly just working, constantly trying business ventures. And it sucks at times because it's like, oh yeah, I want to go out. And going further into that, I don't go out anywhere. I don't go out to functions. I don't go out to parties. I don't have friends. So who am I going out with? It makes no sense. I'm not doing anything. And it sucks, man. It does. Because there's times like I'm at nighttime, I'm sitting there alone in my bed, in my room, and I'm like, dang, bro, wish I could go somewhere. I wish I could do something. I wish I could literally just act my age for once. I wish I could have a girlfriend. You feel me? Like, little things. It's like, I just simply don't. And, it's okay, but to a certain extent. But I understand that there's a level of sacrifice that is needed to be able to achieve the desired outcome that it is that I want and the successful life. And even if I were to go out to these places, go out to these parties, I'd almost be cheating myself, lying to myself on something that I don't really enjoy. It would just be to kind of fall into hedonism or just enjoy these worldly pleasures for the time being. And so going further into that, I don't go to any type of school activities, bro. I have prom in the next few days. Prom is this Friday. We just had the grad bash, which is going to Orlando and going to like whatever, those Universal and all that. I haven't gone to any of those places. I've probably gone only once in my entire life, and I wish I could have gone. I could have paid for it, but again, it always comes back to, is it worth it? And I feel as if it's not, to the person that I want to become and the goals that I have. It just simply doesn't make sense. It's not fulfilling. And I guess maybe it would be fulfilling if I had friends and if I had people to go with, but I just got out of a serious relationship some time ago, and I kind of had dropped everybody for that relationship, and so I'm left picking up pieces, and I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining. It has shaped me in ways that, have really impacted me and helped me to become more self-aware and given me a sense of clarity of what it is that I'm here on earth for. And so it's okay. And I'm not gonna lie, like I've never been the type of person to, want to go to prom, want to go to these dances, you know, to show off in this type of way. Like, yeah, it would have been cool. I mean, I was planning on it not too long ago, but when things hit the fan, it was just like, okay, so I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. And the way I rationalized it was like, oh, I'm saving money, and I'm doing something that's better, and I'm working towards something that's, giving me impact or fulfillment. And in a sense, I think about, is it worth it? Is it good sometimes to maybe, I guess, the balance of it, the balance of being a kid and working towards what it is that I want to become. And at times I swing so hard to either side of the pendulum. One moment I'm wishing that I could have all this fun, I could go out, I could live a life like a fool. But then on the other side, I have these morals and I have these goals and I know better of what it is that I want and who I am becoming. And so I can't lie to them. And so a lot of you guys might consider this as depression. I simply don't care. I just keep moving, keep living. What else can I do? I'm so obsessed. I'm so overwhelmed by my goals and my ambition and who it is that I want to become. I've gained narcissistic traits in this sense, where all I want to do is just become successful. All I want to do is achieve this life that I dream of in my mind. I'm constantly there in my head. And then when I look at reality, it's something different. And it causes me a lot of, I guess, stress and, just negativity. And I've been trying to work through that to not fall into negativity, because that simply does nothing. But I do want to make what lives in my mind reality as soon as I possibly can. And I understand there's a level of sacrifice. And with that level of sacrifice, I know that I can gain all these, I guess, memories or feelings that I would have gained at this age. I could gain them then. Like, oh, all those times I could have gone out now, I'll be able to go out like probably 10 times as much later on, because firstly, I will have the means to do it, and I won't have to worry or stress. Like, there's people nowadays that 30 years old, only got $1,000 to their name. Spring break comes around, they'll come down here to Miami and just live it up for a week. And that's like 3, 5, 6 months of them working, trying to save money just for that. Like, I can't subscribe to that type of lifestyle. And I want to leave a sense of legacy on this planet. I want to leave my name. I want to help people. I want to know that I will outlive my lifespan. I want to leave a mark on this earth. You get me? And I feel fulfilled in that. I feel most definitely fulfilled in the fact that I'm working towards something that is outside of me, something that I feel is greater than I am, something that can help a lot of people, especially through these type of videos and all types of things that I have planned for my future. I'm such a young guy, only 18 years old, so much ambition and so much dream. And a lot of times I get caught up in the time, and I think that's what leads to depression and spiraling and all that, because I simply am suffering in my own mind rather than in reality. At times I do need to just kick back a little bit and kind of accept that the process is processing. And so I feel fulfilled in that. I feel fulfilled knowing that the time is being well attributed to, or well allocated to, what I deem fit. And I know that it takes just one little thing to just change your life, change your career. One viral video, one, viral product, and your life is completely different for the rest of your life. One viral song, it could be anything. But nobody will ever see all those years that you put in, that you just don't get nothing out of it. Nobody knows you're getting 2 views, maybe 2 listens or plays to your songs, or 2 likes to your photos or to your art or whatever. But then let you get that one viral thing and your life is changed forever. There is no going back to that reality that you once lived. And I accept that, and I understand that's part of the journey. And so that's why I keep pushing on. And that's why I don't consider myself to be depressed. I consider myself to just be a workaholic and to just keep pushing more and more, because what else can I do? What good does it do for me if I were to just complain about all these things that I just listed, these negative traits? Like, I don't even think about these things. I had to really just sit there and think to even list these things out, to talk to you guys about it. I don't think about these type of things on a daily basis. All I think about is my goals and who is it that I want to become. And so it does you no good to sulk into this negativity, because it's simply just going to push you further and further into the depression. And I believe that the only way to cure depression, even if you are in a state of depression, is through action. You have to change. You have to do something about it. Nothing comes from nothing. You can't expect that. That's insanity. And so I understand that if I work hard and I do something that is fulfilling or something that is outside of myself, if I could simply help one person, that is more fulfilling than me sitting around, sulking in my bed, wishing that the world would come and hand me a surprise of give me friends, give me a girlfriend, give me all these things that I wish for. No, I understand I have to go and work and I have to, do the things to achieve these things. And so that's what it is that I've been doing, just working, grinding, focusing, doing the things that I enjoy. And, there's fulfillment in that. And I think that's the biggest things that people miss when they are in these mental, I guess, stunts or like negativity spirals that they call depression. They get stuck in it and they just spiral. I remember I was depressed at one time. I was spiraling quite